right, a very good day to you, my dear listeners, subscribers, and co-analysts from all over the world. You are welcome to this amazing episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, there is no doubt that Nigeria is in her worst state ever in its history as a nation. This country, as we speak, is ranked amongst the worst countries in the world in terms of security, ranked amongst the worst in terms of number of out-of-school children. Nigeria ranks bottom 3 when it comes to countries with the worst human rights violation cases. And of course, we remain the poverty and the corruption capital of the world. And this narrative is not changing anytime soon. As a matter of fact, everything points to the fact that the situation will only get worse. But in all this, the irresponsibility of this administration speaks volume. Presently, the Chief of Army Staff is nowhere to be found, and report says there is turmoil in the army hierarchy because he didn't properly hand over duties before disappearing. Tinubu himself has been away from Aso Rock for weeks now, and he didn't properly hand over to Shettima before leaving. And we began hearing that the Lagos boys surrounding Tinubu, who are left in Aso Rock now, will not even let Shettima carry out some constitutional duties that he ought to in the absence of Tinubu. This rumor was gaining ground until few hours ago when Shettima's handlers made a massive announcement. This announcement, for whatever reason, shows that Nigerians are in serious trouble. The country is sinking, and after snatching and grabbing power, Tinubu and Shettima have little or no desire to rescue this sinking ship. As a matter of fact, they are happy that the country is sinking. If they weren't, we wouldn't be hearing this kind of announcement. Before I show you that announcement by Shettima's team and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos that buttress all that I have been saying about the deliberate sabotage and wickedness of the government and political class as regards the price of petrol and general productivity in Nigeria. There is a deliberate attempt to totally destroy this country. Let's watch the first video.
The reason why refineries are not working, Nigerians need to know, is that the government doesn't want them to work.
Explain further.
Because, let me give you a simple explanation. When you are trying to repair an existing refinery, but you have not finished repairing it, but somebody else got architect to draw the map and drawings of a refinery, went to negotiate land in many places, got the land, started constructing, finished construction, is selling, and you haven't repaired the one that was already in existence. What does that tell you? It tells you that the priority is to make sure those things don't work.
Is it within the government? Interest within the government does not want it to work, or is it interest within NNPC?
NNPC is part of government, and nobody gets appointed in NNPC without the government. It's a government agency. So you can call NNPC, call all of this. The idea is that they don't want to run government, and they don't want to run an economy. They are fighting to take control of the petroleum market. This is the problem. So don't let us pretend as if we don't know that we are being captured. And our brothers and sisters in government who capture us want to squeeze us like oranges, squeeze the juice out of everybody, and then publicly discuss where there's nothing more. So that is what they want to do. They want to remove economic participation. And I want to say this. Anybody who tells you that we should remove subsidy from an underdeveloped economy where productivity is low has F9 in economics. They don't want to emerge as leaders. They want to take control of the tap of money. They don't want to lead you. If you are leading, you look back sometimes to see whether people are following you. So if you are leading me in economy, you should see whether I'm following you. If you are leading me in politics, look at where I'm following you.
That's state capture.
They don't want to, yes, this is a case of doing to you what the colonial master was planning to do. But you are not being exploited by Onyocha or white people now. You are being exploited by your own people who are exporting your money overseas.
You heard that. That was Chief Adewale Adebayo, the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the last presidential elections, calling a spade there. Because there are some intellectuals in the Nigerian political media space providing explanations through bogus write-ups all over the place, trying to deceive people, giving some stupid reasons as the reasons why our local refineries are not working. They are telling lies. They are all paid by government to try to deceive gullible Nigerians. The reason why our local refineries are not working is simply because the government, political class, don't want the refineries to work. Why? Because they have refineries, they themselves have refineries outside Nigeria. Tinubu has refineries in Malta. People like Abdul Salam have refineries in Sao Tome and Principe. And these guys are heavily involved in crude oil theft, just as Peter Obi said. He said crude oil theft is carried out by people in high places, by people in government, because you need the approval of the president through the chief of naval staff to mount your ship on top of the sea to lift crude. So it's a very top operation that the president cannot claim to be ignorant of. He can't, it's impossible. So these guys lift our crude, they take it outside Nigeria to be refined in their refineries, and importers import petrol back into Nigeria to sell to the masses at exorbitant prices. Buhari did it. Tinubu is doing it. That is the biggest source of wealth for members of the political class. And they know that once our local refineries begin to work, that is the end of that business. And that is why they have continued to sabotage our local refineries. Point blank, period. So the problems of this country are man-made, deliberately created by the political class, just to continue to enrich themselves and impoverish the masses. The whole thing is deliberate. Let's watch one more video.
Actually, we do not have any currency problem. What we have is the issue of unproductivity. We are not a productive nation, and we have refused to deliberately do simple things that will make this economy a very productive economy. You know, it breaks my heart every time we sit down to keep on discussing, oh, Naira is losing value. I read somewhere somebody was lamenting, oh, Naira is today trading at 1705 to $1. And I asked him this simple question. Are you expecting the Naira to gain over the convertible currencies when we practically produce nothing and practically imports everything that we can easily produce here? I'll give you an example. Nigeria has no business importing over $11 billion worth of agro-commodities, things we can easily produce here. Nigeria has no business importing $18 billion worth of white petroleum products and minerals that we can easily refine here. Most of the things we waste our scarce dollar resources on are things we can competitively produce here and export out of here. And for record purpose and for knowledge sake, the value of any local currency to the convertible currency is an interplay of demand and supply. First of all, demand and supply. When you're producing and exporting enough goods and services to earn dollar, when your supply side of the dollar is far more than the demand side, your local currency will gain massively. Countries like China practically devalue their currencies, game the system every time because they want to make their export more competitive because they are an export-oriented economy. If you go down history, between 1960 to 1970, even during the Civil War, the Naira was consistently stable against the US dollar and the pound sterling. In fact, the pounds, Nigerian pounds then, was more stable. In fact, at a time, it was stable at 65 pence to $1. Even in 1968, it even gained 57 pence to $1. Because at that time, we had a productive economy. We had the Granite Pyramid of the North, the cotton, the textile. We had the cocoa of the West. In the East, we had the coal, the limestone, and the clinkers, and the palm oil. As at 1965, Nigeria controlled 45% of the global palm oil market. Today, that market is $72 billion size. If we had maintained that trajectory, we would be exporting nothing less than $38 billion worth of the palm oil products.
You heard that. Over the years, particularly under the APC, the political class have deliberately refused to be productive. Tinubu has even gone an extra mile to raising taxes and tariffs tremendously, increasing petrol price just to totally cripple the economy. Now, I can't say why they are doing this, but this is clearly what they are doing, destroying Nigeria. Now, Let us look at that update coming out of Shettima's camp that got Nigerians talking. For the past 1.5 months, the Chief of Army Staff has been absent from duty and nothing has been done. Then Tinubu himself took off and left Nigeria, claiming he wanted to go and rest in the UK. This man searched everywhere in this country, nowhere to rest. He went to the UK. Now he has gone to France from the UK, and rumors has it that he is seriously sick. Then Shettima comes up with this announcement after the power tussle between him and the Lagos boys in Aso Rock. Listen to this announcement and tell me that these guys have not completely neglected their duties after ruining this country. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu Shettima not in Nigeria as Shettima departs for Sweden while Tinubu still abroad on leave, reporters. Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for Sweden on a 2-day visit to represent Nigeria in bilateral engagements with the Scandinavian nation, the presidency has announced. Reporters had reported that Bola Tinubu departed Nigeria on October 2 for the United Kingdom on a 2-week vacation. In a statement by Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy had noted that the vacation was part of Tinubu's annual leave. However, a statement on Wednesday by Senior Special Assistant to Tinubu on Media and Communications, Office of the VP, Stanley Nkocha, stated that Shettima, during the working visit, which was at the instance of Bola Tinubu, will engage in high-level bilateral talks with key government officials, including a meeting with Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden and the Swedish Prime Minister. According to the statement, Senator Shettima will use the visit to explore opportunities to strengthen collaboration between Nigeria and Sweden in areas such as ICT, innovation, education, digitalization, sustainable transport, mining, and agriculture. Nkocha said Shettima will also meet with key stakeholders in both government and private sector during the visit. While in Sweden, Shettima is also expected to articulate Nigeria's economic vision and the reforms being undertaken by the administration to create a business-friendly environment in Nigeria for investors. The myriad of opportunities that abound in Africa's largest economy will also be showcased. You heard that. Now, Tinubu stood up and left this country over 2 weeks now. Shettima also stood up and left. This is the second time this is happening. It's not like there's anything they can do when they are around, but this is an insult to the people of this country because these guys are operating on taxpayers' money. Every single thing they do in their lives is paid for using taxpayers' money. So they just walking about gallivanting all around the world is an insult to the people. And those of us in the opposition must help the people to see it that way. As irresponsible as Buhari's government was, I never saw Buhari and Oshibajo dump this country at the same time. I never saw it doing Obasanjo. Now, this Tinubu regime, these guys, this is the second time they are doing this. And Nigerians must see this as an insult and be more infuriated against the APC in order to unite and kick them out when the time comes. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. And this tweet here by Madi Shehu says, with or without them around, Nigeria has been on autopilot from 29th May 2015 to date. That is very true. From the time of Buhari till this very moment, this country has been on autopilot and the results are evident. And this tweet by Olorogun E says, their absence will make no difference. They can actually decide to start working remotely from overseas and Nigerians will do nothing about it. What is there to even do about it? The people that are supposed to react, the military that are supposed to react, they have also been bought over. So what do we say? And this tweet by Goswill says, T-Pain and Shettima have both temporarily jackpot and abandoned Nigerians to die of the excruciating pain and suffering in the country. That is what they've done. They have turned their backs on the people. Because if you read that update again and you listen to all the things that they said Shettima is scheduled to do in Sweden, none of them makes any sense. he's going to meet with crown princess. Crown princess, when Nigerians have been crowned with poverty and pain. And this tweet by A Taste of Africa says, perfect timing for civilian or military coup to take place with the contraption on autopilot. Nigeria is indeed a contraption. And this tweet by BLD says, no chief of army staff too. I would have said we are vulnerable defensively, but I remember bandits, kidnappers, and terrorists were having a field day even when the three of them were around. Shame of a nation. Wow, what a shame. And this tweet by MoneyX49 says, there is nothing that has a beginning that doesn't have an end. So there is an end to everything, and his end will surely come. This is the best time for army to take over power, declare state of emergency, but our army are now politicians. That is the painful aspect of it. And Olu here says, may I ask whoever can answer this question, why and how can the two of them leave the country at the same time? Tinubu on a working vacation, stroke medical in France as usual, and his vice on official duty to Sweden. Who relieves them officially? Nigeria is now leaderless. Too bad. Were they ever leaders in the first place? And Shina Ayomi here says, if any religious leader, elder, or political leader tells you to pray for your leaders, tell them they are mad, irredeemably mad. That is it. And Benga here says, shey una get leader before, you only have dealers. Wow, what a shame. Tinubu leaves the country, Shettima follows. And this has brought about serious chaos in Aso Rock. And then Bayo Onanuga came out issuing a statement to defend them, that there is no chaos in Aso Rock, there is no lacuna in leadership, there is no vacuum, everything is moving on well. And if you have been following these people very well, you will know that every time they come out to debunk something, just know that that thing is actually true. Just know that that thing is actually going on. When they came out to debunk the fact that there was rift between Bayo Onanuga and Ajuri Ngelale, just few weeks after then, Ajuri Ngelale had to resign or he was sacked, whichever one happened. When they came out to debunk the fact that they wanted to float the Naira, few weeks later they floated the Naira. So anything they debunk is actually what is happening. They have left Aso Rock in ruins, enjoying themselves gallivanting all over Nigeria. For Tinubu, there is rumor that he's seriously sick, so he may not be gallivanting. But after being in power for so many years, how come you've not been able to put up a structure, a healthcare structure, where you can easily attend to your health issues? None of them believes in Nigeria. Make them get small headache, they will run away. And the funny thing is that many of them, they get attended to by Nigerian doctors when they go abroad. So the issue they have is with the country, it's not with the person that is even attending to them. In other words, you can come and attend to me in the UK. If you are in the UK, you, a Nigerian, can attend to me. But here in Nigeria, I will not allow you to attend to me. Meaning they have an issue with Nigeria. These are the kind of people that we have allowed to control our resources. And when we say it, some people will think that we are just trying to blacklist them. We are just trying to blackmail them. We are just trying to paint them black. No, we are calling a spade a spade. These are the people we have in charge, deliberately refusing to make this country productive. We have resources in this country. We have some of the best climates in the world that supports agriculture. Then we have the best soils in the world that support agriculture. Just for government to invest in agriculture, they have refused. And it's not like it's a strange thing. We were doing it before. We had the cocoa, the granite pyramids. That was how Nigeria, was able to gain its respect in the Committee of Nations before, through agriculture. But these guys have neglected all that. Then you go to the educational sector. Look at what they have done there. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of out-of-school children now, because of the policies, the new obnoxious policies that they introduced into the educational system. And I keep saying it, there is no better way to destroy a country's future. If you really want to destroy a country, just go and destroy its education. then you know that the future is gone. And that is what the APC is doing. But I'm not surprised. I keep saying it. They have come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And if Nigerians are interested in having a country that they can be proud of, then they must cast sentiments aside, come together, unite, and kick the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news. Wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So don't go away.